This instructional video is about graphing systems of linear inequalities. So we are given two inequalities here. We have 7x plus y is greater than 0. And the second one is 3x minus 2y is less than or equal to 5. Now first, we have to think about graphing the first one here. And we have a little problem. If I were to use the x and y intercepts to graph this, I could see right away it's not going to help me because the y-intercept is 0. So to get a visual of what this is supposed to look like, I should change that into a slope-intercept form. So we got 7x plus y is greater than 0. And I'll simply move the 7x over by subtracting them to both sides of the inequality. And I see that y is greater than negative 7x plus 0, which I won't even bother writing. Because what is not there is actually the y-intercept, the b. B is the y-intercept. Sometimes I call this the starting point when you do the quick graph method. So I could right now illustrate, for example, here's the y-axis, and here is the x-axis. Here's the x, here's the y. So now the starting point is at 0. Right there. Oh, and you know what? It should be an open circle because it is not equal to. It's not part of the solution, corresponding to an open circle. So starting point is 0, and from there, the slope, the rise over run that is, rise over run, is in fact negative 7 over 1 in quotient form, and that is also equivalent to positive 7 over negative 1, either way. So from the starting point, you could rise 7, meaning go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 down, and then over 1 to the right. And then I would make my open circle 1 to the right. Or from the starting point, I could go up 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 7, and then go left 1 space. 1 this way. Hey, I'm making a video here. Quiet, please. So minus 1, sorry. And now, the open circle corresponds to a line that should be dashed, not a solid line. There it is. A little word of note, always take pride in your work and use a straight edge, okay? Now let's go ahead, I need to shade this, but let's go ahead and take care of the second line. Here we have now 3x minus 2y is less than or equal to 5. Now this is in standard form, remember that? It's ax plus by is equal to c. And to graph a linear equation that's in standard form, we could use the x and y intercepts by letting x equal 0 to find the y-intercept. So when you let x equal 0, we have negative 2y is less than or equal to 5. To solve for y, we have to divide the negative 2 to both sides of the inequality. But wait, anytime you multiply or divide a negative coefficient, you have to be sure to change the direction of the inequality. So that becomes greater than or equal to negative 5 over 2. So that's my y-intercept. And remember, negative 5 over 2 is kind of like saying, well, it is exactly like saying negative 2 and 1/2. So 1, 2 and a half, and this one is going to be a closed circle because it equals 2. See, right there is close to. Close because it equals 2. Now we're going to find the x-intercept by letting y equal 0. And if you let y equal 0, what we have remaining on the left side of the inequality is 3x is less than or equal to 5. To solve for x, we divide 3 to both sides. So x is in fact less than or equal to 5 over 3, which is exactly like saying 1 2/3. Almost a 2, but not quite. So there's our x-intercept. So on the x, we go 1, 2, and not quite there, 2/3 right there somewhere. Now we're going to use a straight edge and draw. And to a solid dot, or filled in dot, we need to draw a solid line. There it is. Okay, now to find the area of the solution, we have to shade. And what I like to do is I like to go back to the y-intercepts. Now, the dashed line over here represents the first inequality, which was right there. And it says y is greater than. So greater than, well, less than means to shade downward from that dotted line, dashed line. Right there, see this way? So greater than means up above this way. All right, high tech right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and shade the area. And it should look like this. This is the shaded region for the first inequality. Okay? Okay, and then the second inequality, right there. I look at the y, and this one from the solid line is greater than. So from here, less than means to go down, shade down, but greater than means to shade up. So this time, from there, I'm going to shade it above, this way, from the solid line. So the question is now, where do the two shades overlap each other? And that is right in this region, right there. That means whatever coordinate points you choose in this shaded area, it will satisfy both first and the second inequalities. There it is. Oh, time for my medication. Now, why don't you try the second one? Right here. Negative 2x plus y is greater than negative 7, and 4x plus 4y is less than negative 12. These are both in standard form. Here's a hint. Use the x and y intercept to graph.